what everything means. Like literally, whatever I said, you know that.
Oh, the bird got in the costume. You know what that means?
Yeah. Actually, yes, the little bird is calling me.
Nice.
Oh no.
What happened?
I'm gonna run out before that meeting.
That's soda cornflakes. This time. Okay.
Hi guys, can we go over what products we need to check the ingredients of?
We'll have to do that at a later time. There is the Blumenkrantz book that has all the different products and different. Well, I'll ask Mrs. Cohen if she could make it available.
Like, do I have to check like an air freshener? Do I have to check?
They have all that stuff with
Sora. Okay. And let's see. Dr. Hila.
Hi.
Three. That's Nadia Gold. Okay, there you go. Did you get your notebook back?
What?
Did you get your notebook back?
Yeah.
Thank you very clearly. I got all the information. Okay. Page 27 in the booklet, Laws and Customs of Pesach. This is about lighting Shabbos and Yontif candles. I'll just go over those numbers that are special for Yontif. Let's look at I'm going through the numbers. It's on page 38. Number 7. It's a good custom to give one or several coins to charity before lighting the candles. When we have a 2-day Yontif, we give also for the second day. Since the second day we'll be lighting the candles, we will not be getting stuck. So we'll give before Yontif, before the holiday begins, we'll give for both days. Number 8. The same way that we light the candles for Shabbos, the custom of Chabad is to do the same for Yontif as well, as waving in, covering the eyes. Even though technically in other communities, they do not do that for Yontif, but in Chabad, it is done for Yontif as well. Now, number 10, day before Yontif, our custom is to light the candles before sunset if it's a weekday. When it comes on Shabbos, you only have the then you can only light the candles after the stars are out. So Erev Yontif, this is going to be on a Friday, so you light the candles the same as every Friday. When Yontif is the second night, you always have to wait. You cannot do on the first day anything for the second day, so you have to wait until the stars come out in order to light the candles for the second night, even if it would not be a Shabbos. But in this case, it's Shabbos. You cannot do anything on Shabbos until Shabbos is over. So when you want to do anything on Saturday night, to start preparing for the Seder, the second Seder, if you daven Shemona Esrei and you said the special the special Havdalah that is said with a Yontif and Yontif Havdalah, Yontif Shabbos Havdalah. If not, you say Baruch Hamavdil Ben Kodesh LeKodesh. That is the Havdalah that is said between one day of holiday and the other, between Shabbos and Yontif. So normally Havdalah is Hamavdil Ben Kodesh LeChol. Here we say Hamavdil Ben Kodesh LeKodesh. Let's put it down. So, saying this, you could start your preparation for the second night. Number 13, that's on page 39. Every Yontif, except for the last days of Pesach, after lighting of the candles, you say the Shechiyanu. So Shechiyanu will only be said the first 2 days of Pesach. The last days of Pesach, Shechiyanu is not made, not for the lighting of the candles and not for Kiddush. So that's the exception when it comes to Pesach. If a woman, still in the same in number 13, when a woman lights candles, she should take care not to repeat the Shechiyanu if she herself is making Kiddush later. So Shechiyanu is only said once. So if she is lighting the candles, that is when she said the Shechiyanu. If she's later going to make Kiddush, she does not make this Shechiyanu again. Before lighting the candles, if you want to make use of the table, you should put the matzah on the table. Number 15. You may not produce a new fire on Yontif by striking a match or lighter. You could only take light from a fire that's already burning from before Yontif, such as a lit candle, stove type, a gas stove, pilot light. So those who do have electric coil, you could put the candle to the electric coil, it will ignite. Your question?
Yeah. If your candle that you lit before your Yontif goes out, could you have it before you light it, or?
No. So you have to get from some neighbor's house who has an existing fire. Number 16, if you use a match to bring the fire from an existing flame. So what one does, you have the 24-hour candles that you would prepare before Yontif, and have that if you're going to be, if you need the existing flame, you would do so from a burning candle that is in the glass, the tin, the 24-hour candles. When one uses a match to bring fire from an existing flame to the candles, one should be careful not to extinguish the burning match or throw it away, but put it down carefully and it should burn out on its own. On Yontif, number 17, it's forbidden to heat the bottom of the candle in order to have it stick to the candlestick. So sometimes on people who do not have a tight candle holder, what they will do is, when permissible, they will melt the bottom of the candle and then it sticks to the candle holder. But for Yontif, one is not permitted to do so. If the candle holder is full of wax, you could clean it with something that's not muktzah, and the wax that is removed is muktzah, so you do it over the garbage, so you will not have to be concerned about what to do with it after it's out of the candlestick. Okay, and lighting of the candles is a time of joy, and we'll have a holy family, holy children, will shine brightly with Torah knowledge, fear of God. She brings to her husband long life, and as well as to herself. Okay, page 40, the Hallel. It's customary the first 2 nights of Pesach for the congregation to say the entire Hallel during Ma'ariv after Shemona Esrei. You also say the full entire Hallel for Shacharis the first 2 days of Yontif. However, Kol HaMoed, the last days, only half Hallel is said in Shacharis. Now we have on page 41. Until now, we have been davening in Shemona Esrei, the winter form. We've been saying Mashiv HaRuach, Morid HaGeshem. It causes the wind to blow and the rain to fall. That is in the second blessing, Bata Gidor. Baruch Aleinu, we say, the same Talamata Lebracha, bestow upon us dew and rain or blessing. So we go according to an Eretz Yisrael. Now it starts the summer season, and therefore we're going to omit the asking for rain and mentioning the rain. So when it comes to the winter season, the objective is to add prayer for rain. In the summer season, the objective is to refrain from asking for rain. So that is why there's a difference. What happens if you did not say it correctly? In the wintertime, you could correct it by adding it. In the summertime, you can't add anything. You have to start the blessing again, and this time say it without mentioning the rain. So that is why there's a difference. There's nothing that you could correct yourself other than starting again from depending on which blessing you made the mistake. So let's see it inside on page 41. The first day of Pesach, before the Musaf prayer, the Gabbai, the Shamash announces Morid Hatol. We begin saying Morid Hatol. He causes the dew to come. So in the Sephardic community, and Chabad takes that minhag as well. We do say in the summertime, Morid Hatol, because the dew to come. That is something that's for all seasons. However, in the Ashkenazic community, they omit. They do not say anything about dew. They do not say anything about rain. So in the second blessing, they do not say about Morid Hatol. In Nusach Chabad, Nusach Sfarad, they do say Morid Hatol, causes the dew to come. So not saying that is not considered making a mistake in davening by not saying anything at all, but by saying Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGeshem, that is where you have to start again.
So it says here that we start saying Morid Hatol on the first day of Pesach and Musaf, but when do we individually start saying it during our Shacharis?
So in Shacharis we don't say it at all. We keep with Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGeshem. When we're davening, Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGeshem said. If you are in shul and you hear the announcement of Morid Hatol, at that point you stop saying Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGeshem. If you did not daven Shacharis yet, you heard already the announcement of Morid Hatol at the beginning.
That's when you switch over.
That's when you switch over, right? If you didn't hear any announcements, you're davening yourself, you would do so for Musaf. So there's a special edition that is introducing and asking that the dew should come for blessing. And that is a very special moment, special tunes that is universal among for Musaf, for Tal, and also for Geshem is a special tune that is used in all synagogues, in all different minhagim. They also have the Kaddish is also said with a special tune. So it's a special introduction. The ark is opened up during the repetition of Shemona Esrei, and we ask that it should be for bracha, it should be for blessing, it should be for life, and Tal represents the coming of Mashiach. It says Hashem will revive all souls with the dew of the heavenly dew. So let's look at the rules First day of Pesach, before Musaf, the announcement is made, Me'od Atol. At that point, we start saying Me'od Atol. We say the special prayer, which is called Tal, during the repetition. If you said Me'od Hashem and became aware of it before saying Hashem's name at the conclusion of blessing, you go back to the beginning of that bracha Ata Gibor. If you concluded the bracha Mechaya Mesim, you go back to the beginning of Shemon Esrei. So, in the first three blessings of Shemon Esrei is 1 unit. If you could correct it in the same paragraph, then it could be corrected. Once you concluded the second blessing, then there's nothing else that you could do, since the idea is to say it omitting the asking for rain. So then you go back to the beginning of Shemon Esrei. You do not have to take 3 steps back that you've done already. You just start again from the beginning of Shemon Esrei. If you concluded the entire prayer and you did mention Geshem rain during the summer season, then you repeat Shemon Esrei again. If you're not sure, if you said Mashiv Me'od Geshem, then if it happened, you're not sure during the first 30 days, you have to repeat Shemon Esrei. After 30 days, we do not repeat it because we assume that you've already become accustomed to saying it, but the form that it is at this particular time. So I have here a chart, I think that helps us. Please pass it around.
So we start saying Mari about
Musaf.
Musaf the first day. We start counting the Omer the second night.
Okay. So let's look at the chart. I think it makes it more clear. The summer months, we say Me'od Atol during Musaf, the first day of Pesach, causes the dew to descend. If you said Me'od Geshem, but you realize your mistake before you say Baruch Atah Hashem Mechaya Mesim, conclusion of the second blessing, then you start again from Ata Gibor, the beginning of the second blessing. Ata Gibor, you were strong. If you recall saying Me'od Geshem after finishing Mechaya Mesim, you start Shemon Esrei from the beginning. If you have a doubt, then the first 30 days we assume that you're accustomed to say, as you've been saying throughout the winter, and you repeat Shemon Esrei. I find it useful if you point your finger, the second blessing, and also in Baruch Aleinu, if you point to your finger, that will make you aware what you said. The question is if you don't remember what you said, because you were not concentrating. So how do you concentrate? So I find it very helpful that actually at this point in Shemon Esrei, the 2 places in Shemon Esrei where we're changing over to the summer season, to actually point with the finger, and then you know very definitely that you said it because you pointed with the finger. Raise your voice a little so you hear yourself that you said it, and then you know that you said it. No doubts. So this is the addition that we say in the second blessing. Then we have Baruch Aleinu, bless us. So it starts Ma'ariv, the first night of Kol HaMoed. This is said only in the full Shemon Esrei, not the holiday Shemon Esrei. So we say that Hashem should give us blessing. We're not asking for rain, we're asking for blessing. So this is said the first night of Chol HaMoed, when we start saying the weekday Shemon Esrei, where we add Yalav Yavai. So throughout the summer months, until Myrav, the evening of the before December 5th, outside of Eretz Yisrael, we don't ask for rain. The weekday Shemini Esrei, we say the same bracha. The rule is, if you said the same Talmud motto and you realize your error before or after finishing the bracha, if you're still saying Shemini Esrei, start again that blessing and continue Shemini Esrei in order. If you realize you said the same Talmud motto after finishing Shemini Esrei, which is you said the second Yil of Ratzon, the one that you say before you take the 3 steps back. If you said the sentence before you take the 3 steps back, so then you have to repeat Shemini Esrei. So whenever there is a correction made for Baruch Aleinu that you have to start from Baruch Aleinu, you do not skip any blessings. You go from Baruch Aleinu until the end of Shemini Esrei. And if you finish Shemini Esrei by saying the sentence when you're ready to take the 3 steps back, that's considered that Shemini Esrei has been finished. You start again from the beginning of Shemini Esrei. Any questions on this? I think it's good to have this chart. It's a good reminder. Now, let's think about staple it. Okay. We have here for Spheres Omer. Everyone take 2 pages. Should be, oh, it's made on, oh, this is my, oh, it's 2 sides, good. Okay, it's 2-sided, so this is good. I thought this 2 pages. I just have my original. Okay, please pass this around, thank you.
So we only need 1 page?
No, it's 1 page, right?
This day,
It's 1 page.
this year Yontif is Shabbos and Sunday.
Shabbos and Sunday, yes. So Saturday night is the second night of Pesach, and we will have the Spheres Omer in Myriv. I'm sure you will have, concerning Spheres Omer, you will have classes on this after Pesach, but I think this book is very helpful. This is the counting of the Omer by 49 steps of personal refinement according to Jewish tradition by Simon Jacobson. So Jewish people leave Mitzrayim, and they were in the 49th level of impurity. And they were told they were going to receive the Torah, and it was going to be after 49 days. So there was the counting down of when the giving of the Torah will take place. And each day, they lifted themselves up into another level of refinement. This is also the ability that we have every year to go through these 49 steps, personal refinement, and to go out of our restrictions, boundaries, that which is holding us back, and be able to make ourselves ready to receive the Torah. So we have the 7 emotional attributes. I think you've had that in Tanya. Am I correct? You're familiar with it. So I'll just touch on this very briefly. Chesed is an expression of loving kindness, benevolence. Gvura, justice, discipline, restraint, awe. Tiferet, beauty and harmony, compassion. Netzach, endurance, fortitude, ambition. Hod, humility and splendor. Yesod, bonding and foundation. Malchut, nobility, sovereignty, and leadership. So each week, we concentrate on one of the attributes. And week 1, which will start with the first counting of the Omer, is loving kindness, benevolence, and it's the origin, foundation of all human interaction, giving, receiving, allows us to reach above and beyond ourselves, to experience another person, and to allow that person to experience us. It is a tool by which we learn to experience the highest reality, which is Hashem. So that is chesed, and the whole week we look with kindness of kindness. How do I express my love? Discipline should be a healthy love, not to take advantage of others, not to be taken advantage of. And it gives you a list of what to check off each day of how you're, what to gauge yourself, what you should sort of concentrate on. Are you sensitive to other people's feelings? Do you take into account the capacity of to receive the love before I give it? Paris, is it done in passion? Do we expect nothing in return? So this is the exercises for the day, and I think it's a very, people who have seen this have said that this is something that's very, very beneficial. Yes.
Can I take a photo of it?
Sure. So now yes, your question.
There's also an app called My Omer, which is really helpful, and it does that pairing, and it's like a journal exercise, and it like lets you reflect with like a question that has to do with the pairing of the sephiras of that day.
Oh, wonderful. So what's the name of it?
My Omer.
My Omer, by whom?
I don't know,
Good.
but it's I think it's about it.
Yes, okay, so,
Pretty cool.
okay, My Omer. Okay, so right now, there's a lot of out there that is very beneficial. Okay, so Spheres of Omer, let's look, I'm going now through the booklet on page 42. Does everyone have one? I have extra copies if someone does not have the green booklet. Okay, page 42, number 19, Spheres of Omer. Second night of Pesach onward, after Ma'ariv, and people who do not daven Ma'ariv still would count the Omer by nightfall. It's good to have a calendar to check off each night. It's good to make a specific time when you're going to count the Omer, whether you do so before you retire or you do so before supper. I don't know what time, no, supper I guess is earlier, so it's not too early. But if you make a specific time, if you daven Ma'ariv, it would be after Ma'ariv. If you don't daven Ma'ariv, so do so before you retire. So you'll have a specific time when you're going to be counting the Omer. We say the blessing. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu al sfiros ha'omer. Blessed you, God of God, King of the universe, who made us holy with his commandments and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. And then you say each appropriate day, Hayom Yom Echad LaOmer, today is the first day of the Omer. And then we ask for return of the Beis HaMikdash, because the Omer was brought as a barley offering on the altar on the next day, the second day of Pesach. And it was a great ceremony of when the cutting of the Omer was done the night before. It was done no matter when, it was always done the night before. It was done the night after the first day of Pesach. So that's when the Omer was cut. Then the next day, it was brought, the offering was brought on the altar. So you have a barley offering, but even though throughout the year, all of the offerings were made of, consisted of the wheat. This was the exception, barley. So we have the barley was generally food for animals. It was not a human food. The wheat is a human food. So here we are working with our animal self, refining the animal self until it becomes human, that on Shavuos, they did bring 2 loaves of bread to the Beis HaMikdash. It was not brought on the altar, but it was eaten by the Kohanim. It was part of the Shavuos sacrifice. So here you go from chametz, forbidden on Pesach, because we have that ego, we have the Yetzer Hara, we have a lot of work to do. So we have the humility, we have to bring faith, we have to bring healing. All of this is done with the matzah and refraining the days Pesach from chametz. Then we're working with ourselves and we're refining the animalistic part of ourselves. And now when it comes to Shavuos, we've gone through the 49 steps, and now we've become human in all aspects. Well, every emotion of ours has been transformed. And by making the bracha, and by the counting, that itself gives us that energy and be able to give us, be able to make a change, to make a refinement, to make an elevation. And then when it comes to Shavuos, we're ready to receive the Torah. So all of this also happens spiritually as we go through the season between Pesach and Shavuos. This is the time to work on ourselves. And Hashem helps us by our counting this, the Omer, making the blessing that lifts us up. So, yes.
Just clarification,
Mhm.
the barley was given every day of
No, only
Sphira
once.
or just on
Only once.
Shavuos?
No. Barley was only this second day of Pesach.
Oh,
One
so
time,
this is the
it was
second day of Pesach.
second day of Pesach, right? But
Okay.
it was, which was in
And that's the
which was
kickoff
already
of
which was
counting
already
the
Chol Hamoed in Eretz Yisrael. It was Chol Hamoed, but here it's the second day of Pesach. It's still Yontif, but the times of the Beis Hamikdash there was only 7 days of Yontif. The first day was the holy day, the last day was holy day, and all the other days were Chol Hamoed. So the second night of Pesach, which in Eretz Yisrael is Chol Hamoed. So that's when the cutting of the barley was done. And then the next day, a measure of barley was brought on the altar, only once. And the counting of the Omer was done throughout the,
Okay,
yes.
so we start counting like by the second Seder or the next?
So there are different customs of when the counting is done. In some communities, they counted by that night. Some communities counted by the Seder. Others will count it in shul together with by Ma'ariv, that after as a part before Aleinu, and the counting of then we have the Hallel, then the counting of the Omer, and then the Aleinu in shul, and then every night it is done before Aleinu by Ma'ariv. If you're davening with a minyan, or if you want it included in your Ma'ariv service, it would be before Aleinu. The counting of the Omer is done. Now, there are two opinions concerning the Omer. Is it one unit or every night a separate unit? If it's one unit, then you only make a blessing when you're still a part of that unit. If each night is a separate unit, so even if you missed one, you would still be able to count. So since there are difference of opinions, if it's one unit or each one a separate unit, so therefore we always count the Omer, even if you missed a night and you're no longer counting with a blessing, you would still continue to count the Omer because it is still significant, because there is an opinion that says every night, every day is a separate unit, and just because you missed the rung of the ladder doesn't mean you can not keep going. So so therefore, as far as counting is concerned, one should always count, whether they're still counting in succession or they missed a day. So the blessing is only said if you're saying it in order without missing a complete day. So let's look on this back to page 42. Number 2, we say the blessing, the bracha, and we say the sphira standing. Number 3, if one forgot to count the sphira on one of the nights, you count it during the following day without a bracha, and then the next night you resume to count the following night with a bracha. Number 4, if one forgot to count during the following day as well, you count all following nights until Shavuos without a bracha. If you're not sure if you counted or not, we give you the benefit of the doubt, and we say you could count the following nights with a bracha. So because there is an opinion that says every night is independent. So since you have that doubt, we also use that opinion as well. And since every night is independent, so therefore we could continue making with a bracha if you're not sure if you counted or not. So if you miss the night, the daytime you say it, it would be good to say it during Shacharis time, so at least you have a time when, in some communities, for Shacharis, they will say the counting of the Omer without a bracha to remind everyone, whoever didn't say it that night, that they should say it at least during that day, and therefore they will be able to continue the following night with a bracha. Now, What happens if you're not saying a bracha? What you could do, and you want to have the opportunity to be included in a bracha, you would go to a friend who's counting with a bracha and ask them to say the bracha aloud and have you in mind. And then after they say the bracha, each of them will count the Omer. So now you heard the bracha and you're being included in someone's bracha because they had you in mind. So that way, even if you're not saying the bracha yourself, you're still having the merit of a bracha because someone included you in their bracha. But if you're still counting with the bracha, you made the bracha yourself. Then we have the counting of the Omer is if you say today is the second night of the Omer, that's considered that you counted already, even if you did not count with a bracha yet. So if someone asks you, what's today's sphera? What did we count tonight? So it's customary to say yesterday was, in order to avoid saying today is, and then when it comes to counting with a bracha, you've counted already. You cannot make the bracha because it was done already. So therefore, when someone asks you during the time of counting of the Omer, what is today's day? You would say yesterday was. Not because you don't know what's tonight, but you say yesterday was. Okay. Now, I want to look at the handout and to see how actually it is done. So before you count the Omer, you see which is the night, which night it is, so you will know what to count. When you make the bracha, you should be knowing what night it is. So the first night, you know that it's the first night, and we say 3 passages. First one is asking for the Beis Hamikdash. The second one is Psalm 67. And
What page are we on?
we're not looking at the handout. You want a handout? I'm just looking, this taken from the Siddur. I guess this is the old edition. I think the new edition is a different format. If someone has a Siddur, they could file it in their own Siddur. And it reads, for the choir master, a song with an instrumental music, a song. That's the introductory sentence. And starting from there, Lakim Yechaneinu V'Yivachenu. So we have 49 words. After the introductory sentence, you have 49 words in this psalm. And this is asking Hashem to be gracious to us, bless us, make his countenance shine upon us, the Shekhinah forever. We're asking for, as we asked before for the Beis Hamikdash, we're asking for Mashiach, that your way be known on earth, your salvation among all nations, and all the nations will also rejoice in the fact that Hashem has sent the redemption for the whole world. No longer any wars, no famines, no sickness. The nations will rejoice and sing for joy. You will judge people justly and guide the nations on earth forever. So this is something that's universal. People will produce, and Hashem they will thank Hashem for the earth has yielded its produce, and Hashem will bless us. Hashem will bless us and all from the furthest corners of the earth, and all shall fear him. So here we have 49 words, and every night we concentrate on one word of this passage. So if you look at the first page, so every night corresponds to another of the attributes, and each attribute is broken down into, combined with the other 6. So the first night it's chesed, the first week is chesed, kindness, benevolence, and the first night is chesed sheba chesed, benevolence of benevolence. The second night is going to be gvura sheba chesed, the discipline of chesed. And then we have 3 little words Ana, Elakim, and a Yud. So let's get the second passage as well. Then we'll be able to to apply to it. So we have Ana v'koyach gedulus yamin chatat yatzruva. We implore you by the great power of your right hand, release the captive. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 sentences in this passage. We implore you by the power of your right hand, release the captive, accept the prayer of your people, strengthen us, purify us. Awesome one, mighty one, we beseech you, guard us as the apple of the eye, those who seek your oneness. Bless them, cleanse them, and bestow upon them forever your merciful righteousness. Powerful, Holy One, in your abundant goodness, guide your congregation. Only an exalted one, turn to your people who are mindful of your holiness, accept our supplications and hear our cry. You who knows secret thoughts, blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever. So this is a Kabbalistic passage by the Kabbalist, one of the Tanoim of the sages of the Mishnah, is Rabbi Nechunya ben Akana. And we have on the side an abbreviation for each sentence. So we have 7 sentences with 6 words each. 7 times 6 is 42. But then we have another 7, which will equal 49. We have on the side, so we have Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Yud, Tav, final Tzaddik. That's an abbreviation for that sentence that is been said before. Ona starts with an Aleph, B'koyach starts with a Beis, Gimel is a Gedulas, a Yud is Yemincha, Tater is a Tav,
So what's
and
the extra
Tzuruva.
7?
So we have the
Each
abbreviation.
line of abbreviations counts as its
Counts
own
as-
thing.
that's the 7th one, right? So it's 7 times
Isn't
7.
it like spelling one of Hashem's names?
It is a Kabbalistic corresponding to the name of Hashem. That's an elevation that lifts up our avodah. And we say this a number of times. We say for Sfir So'ema, we say it Friday night before the Chadodi.
Also, is
We say it before
Kriyas
Kriya Shema, before we go to sleep. So that elevates everything we've done during the day. So this is a Kabbalistic prayer that is it's connected to Shem Mab, the name of 42 equivalents, the equivalents of 42, the number 42, which is the name of elevation. So every night of the Sfir So'ema, we concentrate on one word of these 49.
Also feels the shachar.
And we also have it Tfilas HaShachar as well. So we have, so the first night is Ana, is the first word of the second passage. Elakim is the first word of the first passage. And then we have the Yud, which is Yismechu v'yiranu l'umim, tzis b'dam b'sher, l'umim v'tahum salam. We have a sentence, Yismechu, the nations will rejoice, and they have 49 letters. So every night we concentrate on one of the letters. We'll finish it tomorrow, just to try to figure out through the course of the day how they all correspond, and then tomorrow we'll just cover it. Tomorrow we'll start with the malachas of how do we do borer on Yontif in a permissible way, which is different than Shabbos. We're going to also speak about the different malachas that we do on Yontif and how it's done. So, okay, let's finish the.
Rabbi, I have a question. Okay.
Liebe Gittel is here, boss is here, Circa,
What are these letters?
a real diamond is here, Karen.
Omer, Shin.
Karen,
Yeah, Karen's
okay. Is not here again. Chana is here. Chaya, I don't see. Sarah Abigail is here. Rachel, O'Connor, not here. Mayor Rappaport is here. Hannah Sternberg, Hannah, Sarah, Titzkin.
Right here.
Okay, yeah, okay, a little late. Okay. And Cats, Wolk. Is that last name? Okay, did I miss anyone?
Did you get me? Samantha?
Yes, okay. Samantha is, yeah, yes, I do.
Great. And Bina?
Bina. Bina's here. Where's Bina? She sometimes comes on Zoom.
She was here.
Oh, she's Bina. I see a name that goes on Phoebe, right?
Yeah.
Phoebe, right.
Phoebe, Phoebe?
Yeah.
Phoebe, okay. Now the person and the name comes together. Okay, I've been marking her, you know.
Rabbi,
Okay, yes, sure,
the scissor,
yes,
it also is on the handout.
yes. Let's go to.
What is this letter?
Let me,
I like it.
It's
got
this.
It's got this script. I like it. Like I'm not gonna write it in any rush.
Thank you.
But just like so that I know. It's fun. It's a lot more fun than trying to break it. This is going to teach us now. Yeah, she's supposed to.
She's the best. Right?
This is too many, guys.